Jasmine Crockett's got another hot take. No blacks and whites on a wedding cake. The Democrats' new chosen one, Jasmine Crockett, is in the news again for an old clip where she attacked Florida Rep Byron Donalds for marrying a white woman. Roll it, Bertha.
The fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow? Is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you?
That's not very woke, is it?
Jasmine Crockett strutted into that room, convinced her attitude and sharp eyeliner could dominate the space. But Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly came back like a wrecking crew loaded with facts and zero patience. Gutfeld's roast hit so hard it practically set off the smoke detectors. Megyn sliced through Jasmine's shaky arguments like a veteran lawyer watching a case crumble in real time. By the end, Jasmine brought nothing but swagger to a high-stakes chess match and got checkmated, live, in front of the whole country.
Speaking of leftist hypocrisy and cluelessness, Jasmine Crockett is a rising star amongst the far-left progressives in this country. She's a representative from Houston, Texas, of all places, which makes no sense because she seems to be far too left for Houston, but apparently not because they elected her. It must be like, Orange County in California being like the one outlier in an otherwise uniformly state, like all red with the one blue, all blue with the one red. Okay, so Jasmine Crockett got up at a Los Angeles dinner this past Saturday, and it was hosted by, this is perfect, the Human Rights Campaign.
If this one is getting you hooked, please hit that like button and subscribe us. Now she attended Rhodes College, a private school charging nearly $55,000 a year, all while branding herself a voice for the working class. Her story begins in St. Louis. Now 43, she was raised by a father who worked as both a Baptist pastor and teacher, and a mother employed by the post office. She later graduated from Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School, another elite private school with tuition near $35,000 a year. Jasmine broke into politics the way someone walks into a reality TV casting call. All drama, all camera ready, as if attitude alone could replace real strategy. If viral rants and online clapbacks counted as credentials, she'd already be Speaker of the House. But actual politics demands more than a perfected pose and a practiced smirk.
She's so rotten, she wants migrants picking cotton. We present to you Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who made this shocking argument why America needs immigrants. Roll it, Alfred.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
This is when the wheels fall off.
You're not.
Then came Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly, two heavyweights who don't need soft lighting or flattering angles to make an impact. They weren't there to be polite or spare anyone's feelings. They came to demolish, not with gentle jabs, but with full-force commentary that rattled the room. Jasmine looked like she'd wandered into a Shark Tank pitch completely unprepared for what was coming. This wasn't a scripted debate, it was a verbal demolition derby, and Jasmine showed up on a tricycle, riding straight into a monster truck rally.
It's just, that's what she does. She puts out this video of her acting in a certain way, and that's how she fundraises.
We actually did a bit of a deep dive on her after my old colleague from Fox News, Todd Starnes, posted something on X not long ago, Walter. He posted the following. Jasmine Crockett wants you to think she's from the hood, that she grew up on the streets. The exact opposite is true. She attended an exclusive day school where tuition is nearly $35,000 a year. She also attended Rhodes College, a private school where tuition is nearly $55,000 a year. She's cosplaying a gangsta. So we looked up her background. She was born in St. Louis. She's 43. Her dad was a Baptist pastor and a teacher. Her mother worked in a post office. She graduated from Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School, one of the most expensive private schools in the city. Indeed, the current tuition, $35,000 a year.
Greg Gutfeld came in sharp, like someone who'd memorized the Constitution and could wield sarcasm like a scalpel. Megyn Kelly took control the way a principal shuts down a cafeteria brawl. Calm, composed, completely in charge. And there stood Jasmine, flinging verbal mashed potatoes around the room, seemingly unaware the whole thing was being filmed in crystal clear detail, ready for the world to replay again and again.
That was 3 years ago. The ones of her just sounding like a normal person talking. 3 years, not like that was 20 years, but then she moved to Mississippi for all that time. That was 3 years ago. She sounded like a totally normal person. It's only now she's got her accent and she's going to kick everybody's ass. It's such an affectation.
Please hit that subscribe button now. Now Crockett's entire political brand runs on what can only be called manufactured outrage. The congressional equivalent of tossing glitter over an empty briefcase and hoping nobody checks what's missing inside. It's loud, it's flashy, and it grabs attention for a moment, but once the sparkle fades, all that's left is an empty shell wrapped in attitude. What she brought to the table wasn't real debate. It was theater dressed up as substance, somewhere between I'm reclaiming my time and can I finish? Built for viral clips, not actual governing. Somewhere along the way, she forgot that leadership takes more than dramatic pauses and camera-ready expressions. Gutfeld didn't even need to raise his voice. A few dry, precise remarks were enough to watch her whole argument fall apart like a clearance rack suit.
This woman, I've had about enough of her. She wants to be like a member of the squad. She thinks of herself like an AOC. She talks like, you know, she's from the hood. Meanwhile, she grew up in a nice family. She didn't talk like this 3 years ago. 3 years ago, she sounded like you and I sound in this conversation. Like, I'm really excited to be going to Congress. I can't wait to get started on my new job. And now she's like, we need to smack him in the head.
We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this that they trying to pull right now.
Like, what? What do you, we have videotape. Why are you talking like that? No one believes this bullshit. And now she's graduated to acting like a thug. So congratulations. Your term in the U.S. Congress is going really well.
That was a great impression.
He waved off her talking points like a cashier rejecting an expired coupon. Worthless and non-redeemable. Every time Jasmine puffed up, convinced she'd just landed a mic drop moment, Greg barely blinked. So unbothered, he looked like he could finish a crossword mid-rant and still dismantle her point before she finished talking. Then Megyn stepped in and the entire room shifted. She carries the kind of presence that makes people straighten up without saying a word. Suddenly, Jasmine's performance felt like an audition for a congressional version of Mean Girls. Megyn came armed with facts, dates, and receipts, plus the rare skill of dismantling someone's whole act without ever raising her voice. Watching her break down Jasmine's case was like watching an auditor at work. Precise, relentless, and oddly satisfying. Jasmine's contributions looked like a failed group project where her only job was adding emojis to the slide deck, then bragging she carried the team.
Is she making any point there?
Like this makes me wish my mom made different father choices.
Gutfeld got straight to the uncomfortable truth. Crockett isn't focused on policy, she's focused on performance. Her whole public image runs on the illusion of resistance. Finger snaps, eye rolls, and captions built for a phone screen, not a congressional chamber. It's not that she lacks intelligence. It's that she leans hard into spin the second the cameras start rolling. What she needs isn't another televised showdown. It's someone to remind her Capitol Hill isn't an improv stage. The most brutal moment came when Jasmine tried to deliver a dramatic line about fighting for the people, and Gutfeld didn't even respond with words. Just a slow smirk, a long pause. That silence exposed the emptiness behind it all, like a spotlight on a mime with nothing left to give. Meanwhile, Megyn stayed completely composed, the calm of someone who's survived multiple election cycles and more media storms than most people could count.
So this is funny. Jasmine Crockett sits on the Judiciary Committee, and about a month ago, Walter,
Oh,
I
yes.
testified.
Yes,
before the
we saw
Judiciary
this.
Committee. Yeah, and the hearings, the full committee hearings, are quite long. You can be there for over 4 hours. So, and they let the most junior members ask questions last. So I had to sit for quite a long time. And then at the very end, Jasmine Crockett, who I had never heard before, suddenly started screaming at me and Michael Schellenberger. And when you're a witness in Congress, you have to pay attention to what everybody says, because you never know when you're going to be asked an actual question and allowed to, maybe even allowed to speak. But I could not understand what she was saying. She was moving from one thing to another, and she was doing all that code switching stuff with the y'alls and y'all eyeing on this and everything.
Hit that subscribe button and make it white like her feelings. Now Crockett's supporters may call her bold, but volume has never equaled being right. Someone yelling at a drive-through speaker is loud too, and nobody calls that leadership. While Jasmine turned every stage into a meme-ready tantrum, the truth underneath the noise became impossible to hide. Greg and Megyn delivered a takedown sharp enough to be a masterclass in how not to embarrass yourself while pretending to sound smart. Jasmine scattered buzzwords like confetti, hoping one would stick, but this wasn't Times Square. This was a political roast, and she was the centerpiece. Her defense relied on eye rolls so dramatic it looked risky, while Megyn fired back with bills, voting records, and a dose of reality Jasmine clearly hadn't encountered since her last viral tweet. It wasn't close. Jasmine brought vibes. Gutfeld and Kelly brought footnotes, verified facts, and patience.
Do you share your boxcar with people of color?
I do.
Yeah.
My boxcar does not know race, does not know gender. It is a welcome space
That is so
where only
beautiful.
deodorant is not welcome. I like this Jasmine Crockett lady, right?
It's a great name, isn't it, for a villain?
Yeah, Jasmine, yeah.
It's
Crockett is the whitest last name you could ever have.
Yeah.
I want to throw that out there.
Sonny Crockett, Miami Vice.
Yes.
It's like the whole thing is like, because I've seen her, she's very well spoken, and then she gets on certain programs and lets it. So maybe this whole thing is like a Netflix documentary, like a new spin on Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
The contrast was almost artistic. Jasmine carried herself like she was delivering decrees from a mountaintop, yet her entire approach ran on social media thread energy. After a blow like that, you'd expect her to pause, reflect, maybe actually read a bill. Instead, she doubled down, like someone playing cards in a courtroom, unaware the room runs on completely different rules. None of this was personal. Gutfeld and Kelly weren't attacking her. They were calling out the influencer-style activism that's turned congressional hearings into content instead of legislating. If Jasmine put half her energy into actual policy instead of her camera angles, she might produce something more meaningful than a social post dressed up as testimony. Her political resume reads like someone who searched how to sound politically aware and stopped after step 1. No major bills, no defining wins, just an endless loop of loud statements wrapped in self-importance.
But she is going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You are going to be so glad she
Keep
popped
her
up
around.
on the scene.
That's going to make up for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. She's going to we're going to get a segment a day from her.
Crockett treats political change like a retweet under perfect ring light glow, while Megyn Kelly cut through the act like a chainsaw through butter. Strip away the hashtags and the theatrics, and it's clear. Crockett's career isn't built around public service. It's built around promoting Jasmine Crockett. That's not leadership. That's a PR campaign dressed up as politics. I feel attacked isn't a policy position. I feel disrespected doesn't fix a single road or solve a single problem, but it racks up likes and outrage. Keeping the cameras locked on her, which seems to be the actual goal. Gutfeld nailed it, comparing her politics to microwaving a frozen dinner and calling it homemade. Plenty of noise, no real substance. She stacks empty talking points like cheap furniture, fast, flimsy, and ready to collapse under any real pressure. Her whole strategy runs on being loud instead of being informed. When cornered, she unravels. When proven wrong, she blames everyone around her as if the room itself was out to get her.
Like, this is, if you're going to talk about black history, at least know it. This is, at least know it, okay? But it goes back to, that was 45 seconds of some of the, like, Kamala, you good right now. That was some of the dumbest I ever heard in my life. Here's the thing. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. They never have a solution. Just listen to your dumbass talk. You want to talk about agriculture? Why don't you fix the lottery? Why don't you make it easier for people who want to come into this country to work in agriculture and equitation.
And yet somehow she sees herself as a historic figure with a ring light. Real icons never live streamed their courage in portrait mode chasing engagement. Megyn barely had to lift a finger to expose the emptiness underneath. She simply pointed, and Jasmine's talking points evaporated faster than a campaign promise the day after the election. Crockett's real weapon isn't policy or persuasion, it's the stare. That theatrical glare she pulls out the moment she runs out of arguments, hoping the room still believes she's holding some deep wisdom. But Greg and Megyn weren't fooled for a second. It's not strength, it's a stall tactic dressed up as defiance. Her silence wasn't powerful, it was forced. The kind of cornered moment where the spin collapses mid-sentence and the applause never comes. This wasn't just a bad night for Jasmine Crockett, it was a live demonstration of her entire pattern, loud and wrong at the same time. She doesn't walk into Congress to contribute, she struts in like she's headlining open mic night, convinced the spotlight belongs to her alone. But in the real world, where results matter more than theatrics, Gutfeld and Kelly's takedown felt like a long overdue reality check. The moment someone finally said it, can we stop pretending vibes equal vision? Because Crockett isn't representing her constituents, she's farming followers, and there's a massive difference between the two.